What's going on there, Loop Tubers? Jamie Bruce here, back for a midsummer video. We don't usually do these too often. Usually pretty entrenched in the derb scene and a bunch of other stuff going on, but my buddy Dom at Lake of the Woods Sports thought he'd turn us into the Googans and sent us some challenge to catch a fish. Did he say fish or bass? Catch I think a bass on every bait in the BT fishing lineup, which normally is a cakewalk. Like in the spring, you could do that all off one spot, but it's transition time right now. Gonna go through every bait. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this or not. We don't really have that much time. Have a few hours, hop on the water and kind of run through the full lineup. And it's not real hard to catch fish on these baits because the reason they're in the lineup is because they're tournament proven. So I'm probably gonna have to give up a lot more juice than I want to as far as transitional fishing goes, but it is what it is and should be fun. So I'm talking to Josh here. What do we got? What do we need for baits? I got a bunch of empty rods. We got a Ned rig.
Yeah.
That's easy. N jig. Crusher jig, which is like a
Marabou.
Cool football jig. Marabou.
Yeah. Clean jig.
Clean jig. Like a grass fishing bait. A clack shot.
Yeah.
Tube head. What else we got? Underspin.
Yeah.
And the Smeltonator.
7.
That's a lot of different programs
yeah,
for one evening.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think we're missing any, so yeah. Gonna hop on a lake, and we're not going to do this on some like easy pond or hidden lake or anything. We're going to a lake that gets pumped pretty good, so we'll see if it works. I don't know. We'll try. I don't know. This is my first challenge.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
So thanks, Dom. Yeah, I just wanted to go out fishing in the evening and have
fun.
Have fun. Maybe film some frog blow-ups and just
yeah.
run the bait caster, not like grind my ass off to get a YouTube video done. But follow along and see how she goes. So I'll walk you through kind of the intended rigging here. This is the N jig. It's our Ned head. Comes with a nice wire keeper. I usually cut that off. Some people like it, some people don't. We put it on to kind of give you the option of that, but I'm just gonna take a Z-Man hula stick, cut it down. You say, well, how do you keep it there without the keeper? Well, I just use super glue. This should be the easiest one to crack them on, I would think. Just thread it on. Check that it's straight, check that it's where you want it, and then I just slide it back down. This is where it's nice not having a keeper. Just slide it back down, dab her up with glue. And the keeper's fine too, but you get kind of 10 fish out of the keeper instead of 20, is the way I look at it. So that just gets it on there nice and straight. There's the N jig and hula stick combo. All right, next is the Clack attack. Started this thing really as an ice fishing technique for rattling in fish from a distance while you're stationary and having like a super finessey drop shot style presentation, but started using it for bass fishing. I've seen with forward facing sonar that you can really turn a fish's attention based on a rattle. If you land behind them, like land at their tail with a regular drop shot, you just don't have any device to call them back. So this thing, super loud rattle. I don't know if you heard that, but it's loud. And we're just gonna rig this up. I'm not a real huge drop shotter this time of year, so it's going to be a little bit interesting. I think this might be probably my biggest challenge. And you rig the Clack shot up the exact same way you would rig a drop shot rig. I just have a little Z-Man 3-inch trick shot. That's my favorite drop shot bait, especially if you suck at drop shotting, because it's super buoyant. So if you slack line it, it just sits there and sits horizontal anyway. So it's really forgiving that way. Okay. That guy's done. Oh baby, Marabou time. I'm not even gonna get a new one. I'm just gonna grab an old dusty one off the lid. Oh yeah, this really shouldn't be that hard. So that's the B jigs / Marabou jig. Dom, we're not catching one on each. Like
Marabou jig's a Marabou jig.
The B jig is the tie head for the Marabou jig. We sell like regular Marabou jigs too that have different heads, but a Marabou's a Marabou. Okay. This is just starting to look like a regular tournament deck. It's really not that.
No.
But I'm telling you, it's not. I think the baits that we think are, I think the baits that we think are going to be easy are going to be the hardest.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, like how many times have you gone out and done a YouTube video and be like, oh, I'll just catch them on this
Yeah,
and it'll be easy.
And it never works.
Yeah.
Or it's very hard. It ends up being the hardest. That's true.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Okay, next up, Smeltonator Underspin. You don't have to talk me into throwing this thing around for the evening. We won a couple tournaments on this last year. Back before anyone else had them. One of the advantages of partnering with a tackle company, but yeah, this is the 3/8 3/0. Pretty standard one. 3-inch Z-Man minnows. You're seeing a theme here. I really like Z-Man plastics, not just because they give them to me, but because they catch them. Same thing with the glue. I'll just get it started. I've done lots of videos on how to rig these, but that's on there. That's a Slam Shady. I've actually only used that color for lake trout. I haven't tried it yet, but
Could be the key killer.
yeah, it looks pretty minnowy to me. Okay, I'm liking our odds so far.
Yeah, like those.
Okay, this will be a fun one. Crusher jig. Lots of people like them for smallmouth fishing out deep, largemouth fishing shallow, like pretty universal jig. It's a football jig, but it's got some cool features about it. It's got like a cool flat top and conical keeper, good gammy hook, just a good all-around jig. Crusher jig, we really like. The reason we make and sell so many of them is I think I can out them now. There's been enough of a statue. Corey Johnson used to buy them off Brian all the time, like heavy. And then the Great Lakes guys just go wild on them. We started doing some football jigging around here and found out that it's a thing. They're a good rig. Lots of people put a hula grub on them. I do that too. I don't think there's any in the boat. This is a Z-Man boar hog. It works good too. Just cut it down a little bit, thread her on there, half an inch off her or so. This is taking us a long time to rig. We're eating into our fishing time. How much time do we have? What time does it get dark?
8:30.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Thanks, Dom. I'm
You're
just
trying.
hating on Dom, hating on Dom for making me go fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is gonna like put me out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
a little bit. The boar hog and crusher jig. Hopefully we catch a largemouth on that
That'd
one.
be sweet.
There's gonna be some in largemouth, I hope, and some out largemouth.
Yeah.
If there's not in largemouth, it's gonna be hard to catch them on the clean jig
Yeah.
because that's designed for
Boring.
grass, shallow, just like going pretty much for, May. I mean May through September, but
Yeah.
they slide up and back.
For sure.
And we don't know where they're gonna be sitting, so we'll move on to that next. But I got this pegged for outer largemouth. God,
It's
I
a
hope
good
so.
looking bait.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. It's
Yeah.
a thing. But so many baits are situational. Like
sure.
we're gonna be forcing the program
Yeah.
on some things.
Not necessarily
Which is-
finding out what it is and then going to it. It's
Yeah.
We're gonna be.
It's
no
kind of
matter
the
what.
opposite of what you do. They say to never have preconceived notions, and like we're forcing the preconceived
Exactly.
notion.
Not changing nothing.
What else we got? Clean jig.
Yeah.
Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, Smeltonator.
Smeltonator, yeah.
Okay, so the clean jig's next. We've done a video on this. It's a beta designed a few years ago. It's another one of those ones we've had in the tackle arsenal for a few years. Usually for fishing shallow, like vegetation and wood, smallmouth and largemouth. I'll just show you how I rig it up quick. All right, the old clean jig. I'm just gonna take a 4-inch diesel minnows. Weird, another Z-Man plastic. This is not a Z-Man commercial. This is it's just really what I use. Gonna thread it on. And the cool thing about the clean jig is it really is a Texas rig swim bait is what it is. So I'm gonna fish it anywhere. I'd fish a frog or a swim bait
And it's raining.
or a swim jig.
Sorry.
Raining?
Yeah.
I'm not cut out for that. There's the clean jig. Rigged up. This is the only bait caster with braid I'm using in the night. This is what I would be doing if Dom didn't send us on this
Wild goose chase.
this YouTube challenge. He's been watching too much Alec Perrick, whatever that kid's name is, running around Walmart. What's next? Okay, so the Smeltonator, it's already rigged on the deck. That thing never leaves my deck. And then tube. We're kind of back into the tube head game. Notice there weren't that many quality ones out there with like the right size hook. Lots of them would be like 3/8 ounce that you want with like a big tuna hook. So these ones are in a bunch of good sizes and gammy hooks, everything you need. Haven't used a tube in quite a while. I use them at Sturgeon Bay pretty heavy. They're They were going wild around here for a little bit, and then they went away when the Ned rig came, but they're creeping back through, so looking forward to hucking that little beauty around. But now that it's raining, we'll see you out there. All right, just laying out all my rods here. Hopefully I can just catch one and put the rod away and see what's left. I don't really know how to approach this. I'm getting a little bit nervous. The wheels were turning on the way here. I don't think it's actually going to be that easy, to be honest. I hope I just find a wolf pack where I can keep doubling up off them or something.
Catch on one thing, put it away, then grab the next rod and keep going.
Yeah, it's just such a transitionary time. Like this time of year, fish usually start moving deep, and then it's super hot, so it kind of like, you know, can counter that. So we'll see how it looks. Maybe it'll be a whack fest. All right, I think my strategy is to start with, I honestly think the Marabou jig is going to be the hardest to get a bite on, which sounds ridiculous to say because it's like the #1 smallmouth catcher of anywhere in smallmouth land, but I want to get it out of the way. I've never used it on this lake before. I mean, they got to eat it. It's a Marabou jig, but I just don't think it's going to be that easy. So I'm going to start and grind this thing. Light line, I got a 7.6 Omen, medium light, just like a rocket launcher. Trying to get good long casts in, and I know there's some cabbage up here and a little bit of rock, and hopefully just crack one first cast and get to put this thing down. It's about the most boring thing you can fish too. So you can thank Dom for forcing me to fun fish with a Marabou on my one night off. Pretty simple. It sounds pretty simple. You just throw it out there and straight reel it in. A lot of people want to throw like twitches and let it hit bottom and all that stuff, and that's just not how you run the Marabou. Just a slow, steady reel, like a swim bait. Spinning out already in the first quarter here. I don't know why I packed that. It's a pouch. Little diet dip. Smoky Mountain, no tobacco, no nicotine. Settle the nerves a little maybe. If you don't dip, don't start. If you do, get smoky. Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you miss a Marabou jig, but there he is. It's a bass. It's a nice bass. Does he have any buddies I can knock off some other baits with? When it's helpful to have the big 7.6
Yeah.
Omen. As I say that, I'm gonna lose it, but you can just see how bowed up it is. Like, it's just a small little hook, light line. I'm nervous. Dom, why'd you make me nervous on a Monday night? What am I doing? Why did I just boat flip it?
There we go!
It came off right there. That's a beauty though, bud.
That is a nice fish, dude. Awesome.
How
Okay, so that
pretty
is
that thing is.
a knockoff on the Marabou jig, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I kind of want to catch another one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Sweet.
I guess I'm putting the Marabou jig away, eh?
Yeah, she's gone.
Solid one though to start,
Yep.
bud.
Nothing wrong with that.
Deadly. Oh, that's a pretty
Woo!
Ned rig. I don't think I need to go into too much detail on how to fish a Ned rig. Deep, shallow. Probably the #1. Really like the #1 bass lure.
100%. Yeah.
I don't think there's much of a contest.
And like
there.
it's not even strictly for bass. Like we're starting to use it for walleye and stuff too. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a dynamite bait.
Yeah, like we used to just use it for walleye because it was easy, but like I literally used that end jig
Yeah.
and crusher jig with the Ned rig in the walleye tournament this year and like caught a bunch of
Yeah.
weirs on it. It's a thing. Oh. Oh, it's a pike. Thought you told me you saw a smallmouth there.
It was a brown.
That's a smallmouth.
Yeah.
It's clean jig and some reeds. Could be smallmouth, largemouth, nothing, pike. This is what I would be doing for fun if I was out fun fishing, instead of doing Dom's every bait challenge or whatever it's called. Yep, bucket. Good one too. The old versatility, baby. Come here, honey.
Woo!
Just fished like a mile of grass trying to force the program. I mean, that's usually what we're clean jigging for, but being a stranger to no piece of timber. All right. Like I said, just fished like a whole mile of grass. Had a couple opportunities and didn't happen. And first piece of timber, and that's a super nice largemouth. So that's clean jig going away. Although that was fun, I kind of want to do that 10 more times. Sorry about your lens there, boss.
All good, all good. She's waterproof.
This challenge is actually a little bit fun, but it's kind of wild. Like, just, okay, finally, yeah, they're on the outs a little bit, flipping there, catch one. Now I'm stuffing this rod away, and we're going to go like out to sea. So pretty crazy, but we got to do where we said we'd do it. Got a handful of rods left, well actually lots, it's only 2 down, and I think we've been fishing for an hour and 20. We got a couple like pretty nice fish, at least we're not just catching rats, but we got some work to do. Got a lot more different things to look at. We're probably done with lily pads on the troller though, I'll tell you that. Okay, let's roll.
I did not, sorry, I was changing the battery.
Oh, it's a beauty, dude. I never even hit bottom up there. Underspin just got mashed potatoed. It's a good fish, too. I want to just rush him so I can crack one on that minnow, but yeah, wait till you see this thing.
Sorry, I missed a hook set, ladies and gents. I was changing batteries.
Yeah, I just said, hey, there they are. You should land that thing for me. Oh, I lost him, I lost him. No, that was like a 4-pounder.
Oh.
Okay, well,
okay.
hopefully I didn't.
That was the first cast. Sorry, dude.
It's all good. Usually when you get a bite before it hits bottom,
that's a
you
good
should be
sign.
able to get another bite. Got some life. Yeah. Oh no. Got him.
Nice. Took a good one.
These deep water smallmouth can be tricky though, like in the summer. It might be a walleye. Oh no, I knew it too.
Walleye?
Oh, we're gonna get plagued by the one big initial bite. And
well, at least we know that the Underspin's a multi-species bait. So
I already knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're chewing the Underspin. Maybe bass. No. You want to keep doing that? I'm gonna start keeping you. I got no problem with that, buddy. We're on, Ron.
Bass.
Walleye.
Yeah?
Underspin's putting on a walleye tour. I just feel them. They feel like reeling in a Safeway bag. Well, this guy's getting it too. Oh!
Oh. I'm sure you'll catch another one.
I can't even hang on to those. How am I supposed to land a bass? Another bag of sand. They're just snapping on the Slam Shady Underspin combo. Why can't I hold on to those? Under the boat, under the dog. Catch one before I blow the trolling motor at him. Yeah, large. Vertical jig.
Let's go!
Yeah. Foosball jig, baby, the crusher jig. It's not a big one, but we'll take them right now.
Perfect.
Little largy, pretty much fished in vertical. Okay.
Awesome, another one off the board.
Yep. All right, another rod away. We hit a lull there, lost one, lost another one, lost a big one out deep, lost a big one shallow, and then caught that little largemouth. So I'm happy with that. This is a really fun way to fish, so I don't really want to put it away, but that's part of it. So we got a tube, a net, a drop shot, and a underspin and a minnow. We got work to do. Started throwing that crusher jig. It's really good for like fishing around boulders and just hopping around, covering water. You know, I used it on 17-pound Suffix fluoro there, and it's just fun. You get to tallywhack them, and that's just a kind of an old school way of fishing. Lots of people use a hula grub on there, and it's kind of a staple. And you know, the crusher jig just kind of brings the football game into the new age. It's got that wedged head, and it doesn't really get snagged as much. You know, and kind of the beauty of a football is it always is going to be upright, especially with that Z-Man plastic on there floating up. If you have like a ball head or something, it'll just roll off to the side and not look as deadly. So that's the crusher game. Lots of old school bassin folks are into that. Like I said, it's a big deal on the Great Lakes too. So you know, pretty cool bait. But I just got the Clack shot out right now. I usually run this thing out deep, but there's so many walleyes out there that they're kind of getting blocked out of bass zone. So I'm just clacking around some boulders and trying to pretty much land on one, and that big loud weight lands, and you just kind of get a reaction out of some of these fish sometimes on the shallow ones, and you know, good for turning the deep ones a lot too. So just keep picking away. We got lots of work to do. About 2 hours left. 2 hours is lots of time, I think.
I think so.
Is that a bass?
I think so.
I'm going 100 miles an hour. I gotta put the brakes on. He's in every weed in the damn lake. Just rifled at that tree, moving up to that next.
Yeah, it's a bass.
Point.
It's a bass.
Don't worry, I'll lose him for you. Any buddies that I can catch with?
I just saw the one. Yeah.
Okay, not really the
There we
quality I
go.
had in mind for the underspin. Lose a 3 and a 4 on the underspin and switched to old mini me, which is a good bank grinder bait. And there we go, we're on to another rod. I don't even have time to put this one away. Should be able to catch as is, I would think. Treat program maybe. There we go, that's a big one. And by big one I mean just legal. Good, run into the trolling motor. I'm just milking a 12 incher. That's 14 incher. Let's go. That stuff's
that's
not
two
allowed.
in a few minutes. We like that. We like that.
Let's go isn't allowed on my YouTubers. It's going to be a big beep.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, Ned's done and jig. See ya. It's starting to look pretty good, bud.
We're getting into them.
Starting to look pretty good. Thanks, Caddy. I like it. Back for some redemption on that jumbo I lost. Let's see if we can get a deep bite on the Smeltonator. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put something shallow on it. Maybe a little 1/8 ounce smelty. Those are deadly for like fishing up shallow. I don't know. I would like to just catch some big deep ones and call her a night. I should put a swim bait on this for casting it out like that, but we'll see. There we go. Little bass. Come here.
Come here, get in the boat.
It looks like a little oil slick victim. It's so dark.
Yeah! Awesome.
Smeltonator, 4-inch Z-Man.
Sweet.
We're picking them off. The funny thing is we came out to the ocean and we're still catching small ones. I knew the ones on the trees and docks would be small, but
Cool.
Okay.
Another one off the board.
Yeah, bud. What do we got left? A clack shot and
a tube.
Okay.
Current time is 7:45.
Okay.
We got time. We got time.
Breathe. We can breathe. It's another trick too. I use a big 7.6 medium light ohm, and the same one I use for marabou fishing on this, because now we're like doing lots of underhand little flipping. So if you have a long rod, you can just do a little snap of the wrist and get it out to them. Thinking walleye? It's gotta be a walleye. It doesn't. Might be a chain pickerel. It's got that little number 4 gammy.
Could be a bass.
It'd be sweet if it was. The old one's bowed up. We never did catch any big walleye here, so I think it's a big walleye though.
Yeah.
No, it's
Nope.
a big bass. When I land it, don't say let's go. I could see it on your lips.
Awesome!
There we go.
Sweet! Nice!
Look at that little number 4 gammy trick shot and the old clack attack. There was just one single fish on the graph. Pitched it at it. Couple shakes. Deadly.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice one.
Sweet, dude.
Sweet buddy.
Great fish, great fish.
Oh yeah, we worked for them. Nice.
Sweet.
That was fun.
Awesome.
I want to catch another one on that big long light rod.
that was wicked. That was wicked.
We're gonna try to catch a deep tuber. I got my shallow tube in case it doesn't work, but it's down to one. We're down to tubing. And honestly, like if I had one bait to catch one on, this would
be it.
probably like for like a 12-incher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're on the run. Oh baby, that's a 12er too.
12. It's 12 all day.
Okay,
Now we can call it a success.
we can call it a success.
Cool.
That's
The
a fish.
BT beatdown.
BT beat down, Dom says. We got a couple nice ones. We lost a couple nice ones, and we got a couple little ones. I got about a 6-inch top water in that locker. I'm pulling it out right now. Let's have some fun, bud. Okay, well that's it for the BT Lube Tuber Challenge, whatever they call that these days. But yeah, that was a lot of work. Felt like a tournament. Hopefully you learned something about how to grind out weasels and thought process in transition, and kind of, you know, what BT jigs to use, and or just whatever baits in general. But if you want to check it out, check them out in store at Lake of the Woods Sports or sportsheadquarters.ca or btfishing.com. Subscribe to both of our channels if you can. Hit subscribe, hit like, comment, all that stuff. See you out there. She's toppy time.